Hey, what's up, you guys? Um, it's so hot in my room. I don't know what to tell you. It's hot here. If I have the heater on at all, it turns into like a sauna in here. It's crazy. But anyway, um, this is a reboot because the last video something happened. I made a mistake. I drank. I drank. It was awful. I lost it. It's totally different than it was before. Like in the last few months since I started talking to you guys, it's like in the last month or so, it's something else too. So, you know, it's not like I don't know what to say. It's not been really good for my emotional and mental state really. And I am like I had some beers and I like flipped out. It was crazy. It's never been like it's like totally different. It was totally different even just a month ago. But something happened, and this time when I drank, it really messed with me. And now on to the next thing. The Nazarene is a historical figure. Jesus Christ is a historical figure. Is apparently some kind of cover up. But he lived as a Nazarene, and they tell stories about him. These stories are really important to me because they talk about Christ as a man and the things that he did. He was a fisherman and he built things. You know, he made stuff happen. Was a doer, and he would fed all those people and put them to work and worked and did man stuff the whole time. You know, was a sturdy character, honestly. But this is my friend. Um, and regardless of the modes and means he uses to establish to his people what he's trying to accomplish amongst his closest friends, there's little doubt. Um, love thy neighbor, alright? And if we believe the same thing, then in a sense we live in the same house. When someone believes differently than you do, their house is different. And you are obligated to accept those people without regard. Oaths are important. Sticking to your guns on being the real patriot and the real Americans through this stuff, alright? Because, you know, when people lobby the government for things like gun control, they they have a reputation, or there's an insinuation that they use false flags, and they politicize people and objectify people for the purpose of firing up their campaign because they need money. And they're like fundraisers. They're really just fundraisers, and they create adverse political environment to justify what they're trying to do. All right, and it's a scam. Um, and our politicians, our government here in the United States is really dirty. And you know, we all have. I'm sure many of you targeted individuals have the same idea that I do. That we actually have a responsibility to defend our government against those people. I'm not saying machine guns are the means. I'm absolutely no gun. You know what I mean? I never have a gun. I don't need a gun for anything. If anybody knows anything about me, is that I made Jack, aka Jared Falmer, lives all the way to 40 without ever once possessing a firearm. See, my grandfather, I never knew who he was. He was destroyed by a criminal with a firearm. So was his brother. And it had a profound effect on me, but I always thought to myself, you know, what I can do is not have one. And I don't. I don't care who knows either. Not really. I mean, who cares who knows whether I have a gun or not? I don't care whether people think I have a gun or not. But anyway, you know, trying to make and these people that try to make so and so look crazy. So and so's already been wronged by municipalities in the state. So and so's in a bad mental state for this reason or for that reason, and then then they antagonize that character until they are, you know, sort of a pariah, of sorts that they all fear and feel obligated to protect themselves from, like terrorists or whatever. It's really pretty weak. And like I say, I don't have a gun control issue. I really don't. I am very conservative, especially when it comes to trying to dictate to other people what can or can't be possessed. That's not justice. That's not law. See, my grandpappy was a policeman. My uncle is a policeman. His uncle is a policeman. And a lot of policemen in the family. I know, and they left for Alaska a long time ago to do law up there. I'm back in Colorado. We're back in Colorado, and it's wrong. They're wrong. And there's that, people who are serious about applying were serious about applying firearms to justice had very strict rules, and were not toys, and we're not to be jerked around in that fashion. We're not to be, see, we're high, only, like professional gunslingers, and there's a code, and you can't play, you know, you can't do the kind of things that most people just normally do. I think they're crazy. I think they're fools. You know what I mean? It's more than just don't look down the barrel. There ain't nothing to see down there, son. It's more than that. It's more than that. And nobody deserves to be an unwitting proxy. No one should be manipulated by a corporation, state, domestic or foreign actors, manipulated in that fashion. That's unquestionably a huge human rights violation. And the people responsible are you, and we're right. Every time it goes through our head and we take control of that thought, we know that to do that to someone is terrible. Is like is worse than trying to feed them, almost as bad as trying to feed them through the wrong end. But like I say, our culture has some problems that it can't wholly take responsibility for itself. It's basically like a torture and cruelty in our culture is basically a public health issue because there's so much bad health. I've seen so many of my friends who are sick. So many girls that I love to say from pharmaceuticals and bad drugs are getting sick from something all the time. It's just like tragic. It's truly tragic. It's truly tragic what happens to people, especially women in our culture. It's misogyny. It really is. The part of the root of it is misogyny. Misogyny is always a failure. There's nothing misogyny has ever carried out has ever like really has been met any of my standards for success. And like macho bullshit is not what it really is. It's something else. So now there's a group among us. I don't know if I could say this for anybody or anyone. I don't know if I have the right to say this for anybody or anyone for this matter, but I get the idea. I get the idea that among us there's a group of people that are absolute saints. All right, and just are honestly some of the best people that you will ever meet. They're probably open, honest, loving, giving, and I promise you, nothing strikes fear in villainy,'s heart. Nothing drives the old man crazy like knowing that someone who might do the right thing is around. You know what I mean? Because he needs goons, thugs, and minions. And as soon as they find out that you won't sell out, it just starts. It starts. And there's different reasons why all this stuff is sort of culminating, and the false flag and the electronic weapons and the CIA, FBI, and the gang cartel, the cartels. You know, the mafia's in all the grocery stores. They're everywhere, and they would just steal a bunch of gift cards and then give them to people that do stupid shit. But think about this. It's not always about us. It's about them finding out who will do whatever they want. Because that's stupid. That stuff is really dumb. The street theater is really bad sometimes. But they want that control. That's the kind of people they look for. And usually addicted to substance. And it's always loading people, using substances to take advantage of them. And doing that is cheating. Um, I mean, loading people, it's cheating somewhat on par with invasive neural technology, you know, black magic and curses. That's one of the most important things to remember about that is in a way that's cheating. That's in a way you not being someone not being able to deal with the real life circumstances and choosing to use a deviant dynamic to achieve the goals rather than presenting something honestly straightforward, which is the best way to go with me. I can tell you that. Funny, isn't it? You know, not like all my whole life has been torrid and like just all these crazy things happen. It's if I told you the whole story, it's way stranger than you imagine, and some of the terrible people that I've dealt with already are some of the most terrible people you will ever know. In your life, you will probably, God bless you, never know the kind of people that I have had to deal with. So, put that in context. Maybe later. You know, it's also hot in here. That's why sometimes I don't wear a shirt. I didn't like that last video. I'm like, I'm all drunk with my shirt off. It's ridiculous. It's funny, but that's me breaking down because it is worse now. There was one more thing I wanted to say before I go. It says, I will answer. I will answer. You know, that's the thing. Is that when you get dumb thugs and minions, stuff like that, I swear to God, all you have to usually do is stand up to them once, and once they know that you'll stand up for yourself, they'll leave you alone. Because they're not. If they had strong character, they wouldn't be doing what they were doing in the first place. So, and I'm going to tell you this, at first I thought it was a cliche, but when I was in lockup, what worked for me was punching the biggest dude. And I not only did I pop that dude in the chops for trying to make me do something I didn't want to do while we were working, but I went into the deputy's office and looked around the corner, and that dude was sitting there playing Candy Crush. You know how much time I get for assaulting somebody in jail? Fucked. That dude was an ass, dude. They were all slimy. Like, me being locked up, it was like, you think the people on the outside are bad, you guys, oh my God, on the inside there's some horrendous characters. Truly, truly terrible characters, indeed. But, I think that's about it. I meant to say, oh, I probably don't have anything to say because you guys already said it, but there I had some stuff to say. But really, I just wanted to say hi to you, other targeted individuals, victims of gangstalking, people who've been vets, federal employees, civilians, all of you whose lives have been touched by the kind of subversive element that seizes power here and has power here now. I love you. You're absolutely right, and I absolutely believe you that in your victimhood. Yes, yes, it is absolutely not schizophrenia. Schizophrenia's pattern is vastly different than what is happening to us. And like I say, we have to keep reminding us, don't do anything stupid. Maybe somebody's manipulating us. Someone's using it. Someone's trying to use us as a dynamic. They're looking for resources. And I say a lot of it when it's politically motivated, I'm sorry. The gaslighting to make someone look crazy, that is one of the worst fucking things you can do to somebody. I swear to God. If a dude, like when I was locked up with dudes that were in for hitting their girls, I wouldn't have them anywhere and I wouldn't talk to them. Because I figured I'd probably stay away from them, so I didn't hurt them. But it's gaslighting, and traditionally it was done as it's like a misogynist patterning behavior. Is by disempowering someone, they indenture them, they enslave them. So, but it's also women use either men or women too, they use diminishing language. They use a language that subjugates you to their authority. And that's all they know to do. Because all they really know is which way the shit rolls. Because there's a big lump of shit that hits them in the head all the time. So they're always looking around for somebody else to dump that load of shit on. It's really just pattern abuse, too. Some of the actors are pretty smart. Some of the handlers are pretty smart. I want to fight them, kind of implying it would be a struggle to deal with these guys physically, but I swear to God, they hide behind their shit. They hide behind their surveillance. You know what I mean? And hand gestures, right? One more. This one is supposed to be a Star of David. It almost looks like a Masonic one, but it's not. It's a tetrahedron. You see it? It's a hand signal I use for protection. I use it to gate my first chakra. Because I'm being attacked, so my first chakra gets tired. And that's the only way I can explain it to you. I mean, it's an Indian word. It means the same thing. The gate, my center gate. Oh, chi, ki. Any martial artist should know this stuff. Is that what we're talking about is the center key here. And like you can generate more power with your center than you can with any, with your hips and back all in the same series than you can just by punching. But I digress. When you hold it up like that, it means something else. It used to be that as Jewish people that we could let another Jewish person know that we were Jewish even though it was a secret by using that like that. But it also does the Masonic thing too. I think the Masonic one, it makes it look longer. It's like that. It's like longer. It looks like those the caliper, right? Or the sketch, and that one's longer. It's different. There's all kinds of different things. There's like sign language and gestures like in old other religions, and these different hand gestures were like symbolic, and they meant something, but like something real. They're based on activity. They're like these altars and deities. You'd imagine that they were like some kind of higher power, but in most cases they were there to serve and teach. So I don't know how you think about higher power. I don't know, or deifying, or what other you think about other people's religions. If I find out that you're cutting into people about that kind of stuff, you're going to be on my bad list. Because whether you're a Mason, or a Mormon, or a Jew, or a Jehovah's Witness, or Catholic, or you don't believe in God, or you're Indian, or you're a Sikh, or you're a Moor, or whoever and whatever you believe, that I love you anyway. And that's what I wanted to say. I love you